Good evening, the nobody listening, or in this case, nobody watching, as though this is just a podcast or something. But I've been holding it in, and I think it's time I had an autistic rant about something that's been bugging me. Now, I'm going to try to keep this brief and get to my points without too much rambling, which I'm already doing. But like I said, I'm autistic, it happens. I'll try to steer myself into the right track if I do. But, double life. Johnny's feeling increasingly more at home in your skin, and it's getting easier for him to take over. No surprise there. Before long, he'll stop riding shotgun, and he'll get behind the wheel for good. Question is, who's really in control right now? Does V still have a say in things? Now, I like to think I do, because before last night, my V was at 25%. And though every 48 hours game time or so, she would keel over and choke blood and scream, ah, fuck, and all that stuff, and drive me crazy. It's not as bad as my first V playthrough, where I wasn't paying attention to things like the progression of the double life stat. And there was a point where I literally had the pulsating and pain and coughing up of the blood persist for a good 2 days straight game time. And it got to where I almost just got used to it. And everything I was doing was just pulsing and the pulsing and the pulsing. It eventually stopped. But that V had progressed a lot further. I wasn't paying attention to the double life stat, as I said, so I had no idea I was making matters worse through doing the things I was doing. I was just enthralled and enjoying the game. And then just suddenly things progressed, it seemed. So I decided, after learning that I could make baked-in stats on my Johnny stuff, to progress chipping in a little bit. And I hadn't progressed chipping in. I hadn't done chipping in at all, because I didn't like the way Johnny immediately betrays your trust and shits all over your character. It feels like my brother. To me, I have an older brother who's a heroin junkie, con man, thief, piece of shit. His whole life revolves around being a piece of shit. Ever since the mid-90s, my brother... Shit, even before then. I don't have memories of a sober brother. My brother has always been a piece of shit. Ever since we were single-digit age. 6, 7. Him being 8 or 9. Piece of shit. That's his whole existence. I'm gonna rip people off and buy drugs with the money. I'm gonna raid people's houses, steal everything they own, pawn it to buy drugs. So having Johnny showing up all the time, understandably I would hope, really pisses me off, because it's as though my brother has just shown up and is imposing himself upon my personal space and my life again. And I've cast my brother out. He's decided he's more interested in being a piece of shit than having a little brother. So I told him, go back to the hole which you slithered from, because we have nothing left to talk about. He stole an equivalent of $45,000 in musical instruments and tools and cars. My father died and left me everything, and he stole everything my father left me. So I had a Martin guitar that was stolen. I had cars that were stolen. So I really dislike characters like Johnny. And to have Johnny constantly button in on everything I'm doing, and having Johnny constantly having a word to say about every little thing, is something I like to avoid. And it was very disturbing to have to agonizingly endure the cutscene of him treating my V like a dumpster toilet and drinking, frankly, an amount of alcohol that would have killed V. doing an amount of drugs and things that would have literally killed my V. No human being at the state of my V has the ability to tolerate that level of an alcohol consumption. So that alone would have killed V, let alone the car accident that they just breeze over and my V seems to just walk away from without a scratch. You know, it's like V's puking because of the drugs and alcohol, not, you know, twisted in half and having to go to a chiropractor for the next 10 years because of the fucking damage by the car accident. Anyway, I endured that, and I was very pissed off to see it progressed double life to 30%, as you can see on the screen. And, but I did get the Johnny Shades, so I tried to make Johnny Shades with a baked-in stat, and I got my baked-in stat. So I was pleased. Okay, the 5% progression was worth getting a built-in Fortuna mod and being able to have built-in Fortuna mod. So I didn't begrudge it too much. But when I progressed the story further with Rogue, it progressed a further 10% after all was said and done, after seeing Johnny's grave in the oil field and all of that. And I don't care what anybody says. It's not worth a Porsche, a jacket, and a piece of shit pistol to get plus 15% progressed worse. And it really bothers me. So I loaded back the save from farthest back that I could before I had done it. And I still had the shades. So I'm at a save where I have the shades, and I'm 30% instead of 25%. And I'm almost making this as a plea to CD Projekt Red to at least DLC the option to get rid of Johnny after you've completed the story. Because I've completed the story, and I've continued playing the game like Johnny's not there. And even though he's not, you know, not there, he's still there. In Witcher 3, you got the option to continue playing the game after the story concludes. The only difference was, I think, well, let me think. No, the only thing was just everybody was gone. Ciri's gone, Yennefer's gone, Triss's gone. They're all gone. The only ones who were still around are Zoltan, Dandelion, and Kira out at Kaer Morhen. And people think that's a bug. Well, if it's a bug, you think they would have patched it out for the Game of the Year edition. She's still there, so it's not a bug. And, you know, when you go to the Isle of Mists, you better finish certain quests or else you fail them. But not with this game. It's like it said to finish certain quests, so I did. I finished everything. I did the ending. I didn't like it, so I played again. I finished just what I needed to do the ending and get the one that satisfies the most, the Pan Am ending. And I did it at 25% and 40. So it's still, no matter what you do, you're dead. I went at 25% and 40%. It gave me the same outcome as the 50 and 60. So it's just ridiculous. There's no happy ending. I should at least be able to turn Johnny off and ditch the douchebag after I've finished the game. It'd be nice if it went beyond level 50. It'd be nice if there was some option to cure V and live. But there isn't. We all know there isn't. Everybody's posted the different endings. Well, I'm going to stop ranting before I run way too long on this and spend the next 2 days uploading this. But I'm autistic. It tends to happen. But yeah, I just wanted to discuss with the air my disapproval and my dissatisfaction with the fact that no matter what you do, you still have to have that piece of shit tagging along. And I mean it when I say piece of shit. I don't like anything about Johnny. And on that note, I love Keanu Reeves, don't get me wrong, but I hate Johnny. Thank you very much.